What's going on, Knuckleheads? GCam Gaming here, another LEGO Legacy Heroes Unboxed video for you. And today we have part 2 of our Update 9 Bricknotes. And there is some interesting stuff in here and some really good news. So let's dive right into it, right? Update 9 is coming and we are hastening to share more news about it. First thing, the Brickspedition time change, right? They have heard there was a big problem with Brickspedition. I talked about it a little while back. Like, if you want to complete these time quests, basically you have to not do Brickspedition every day and save your days for when these time quests drop. Well, now they're changing the time of when Brickspedition resets. It's going to reset, meaning a new day will come at the same time that the time quests come. Basically the same time everything resets, like when the dailies. So for me, it's like 11 o'clock Eastern time. It says 3 p.m. GMT. I don't know who's in GMT. I don't even know what that means. Great Mountain Time. I don't know. I'm in America. We don't really know too much about anything ever. But yeah, so that's cool. It'll be easier for everybody to complete it, and you're not. Sometimes you get blindsided by these Brickspedition quests, and you're like, well, I lost before I even started, so that's kind of a bummer. So you don't need to worry about that anymore, and that's a nice quality of life change that they've really been needed to make for a while. And honestly, it was really easy to do. They could have done this in a hotfix months ago, but I'm glad they're doing it now. Minifigs and set improvements. Update 9 is all about the collectible heroes, as we know. And while 2 completely new minifigures will be playable, we have also decided to improve, buff, and rework even more collectibles and the Lego house set. I was talking about it on stream last night with Wisely. The viability of the collectibles and if they take over the meta is going to depend heavily on what the Lego house set does. It needs to be completely rehauled. There's nothing good about it as is. I hope it's not just a buff up of what's there. Like, I don't really care about skill, and I hope there's like a synergy with the costume tag and synergies with collectible tags, and then maybe just a general one. Maybe they'll even add another ability. I mean, this set is a pretty hard to farm set, so it shouldn't be a beginner set, right? It shouldn't be the lighthouse. It shouldn't be the guarded inn, right? It should be this is the set for collectibles, and they need it to be their set. And the big one, they gave us the list of the reworks. Now, they gave us 3 reworks a couple of weeks ago, and honestly, they shocked me with some of the reworks that they did here. First off, there's 9. They told us there was 8. So there is actually 9 reworks, which is really, really great. And I was shocked by some of the characters that are getting reworked. Yuppie and Highwayman getting reworks / buffs. I thought those 2 figures were already elite figures, at least in the top 15 characters in LEGO Legacy. Maybe top 20 for Highwayman, but Yuppie's definitely up there. And Highwayman, I mean, used to be the go-to attacker in the game. I don't really know what they're going to do to buff them up. Like, I thought that just Gear 8 probably could have given them a little nudge to get back in the meta. I thought their kits were actually pretty good as is. Hopefully, Yuppie maintains his ability to revive, and maybe there'll be some sort of synergy with the Lego house with his revive, similar to Aurora and the Ice Glider. Maybe he'll have some sort of. Maybe he'll just give extra buffs to collectibles with the buff that he gives. So not really too sure how they're going to approach those 2, but you could be looking at 2 really powerful units coming your way with Yuppie and Highwayman. Chicken Suit Guy, we already saw the rework, and to be quite honest, it's kind of filthy on a costume team. He's going to basically be Slimer. Fitness Instructor, I like that rework. Hot Dog Man, I like that one too. Demolition Dummy, right? They needed Demolition Dummy to have a rework. Honestly, you can't have a good team without a good tank, and hopefully they maybe change his passive a little bit to be that he heals anytime a collectible or city hero is attacked. That would honestly make him pretty good. I'm curious to see how they're going to rework Dem Dummy. Cactus Girl, we're all waiting on bated breath, right? Make Cactus Girl great again, please. Hiker, we were expecting a Hiker rework. And a big surprise here, Yeti getting a rework. I mean, Yeti is another character, gotta be top 15, if not top 20 in the game. Did he really need a rework? Hopefully his rework involves his taunt and the AI a little bit, and I wouldn't hate it if they took his taunt away completely, especially if they planned on adding a new chill unit down the line that could taunt. Definitely an AI fix with his taunt to make chill. Hopefully they use this Yeti rework to make chill a little more viable too, right? So that, yes, collectibles are coming to fruition, but as a side effect of collectibles getting a buff, chill's going to get a little bit of a side buff too. Very surprised they didn't buff Clockwork. Now, granted, everybody says Clockwork is great on a techie team, but that team doesn't have any healing. I wish they would have just made his heal over time thing also do, 25% healing to a techie character. That would have really made the techie team more viable and usable in Arena without Gorwell. Because right now, you could play techie, but you better have a Gorwell to go with them. And Gorwell, basically, you could play any... At that point, if you have Gorwell, you're probably going to play it with any team at all. There's those dogs, as we'll see in every GKM video. They're going to be there because you can't shut them up. The other thing we have is the Magisto's Tower is going to be modified in Update 9. They gathered lots of feedback from players who found the Magisto's Tower to be very frustrating in Arena, and we definitely were concerned it was going to be frustrating in tournaments. So they want to achieve a well-balanced and challenging experience to avoid frustration. So they decided to change the abilities in order to improve Arena and tournament experience. Not sure how they're going to change them, but I'm excited to see that. Now we got more news about tournaments. So we are pretty excited about this. The update approaching, and we are all waiting for tournaments to come. So cross out the dates in your calendar because registration on the first tournament ever starts in the first half of May. Keep an eye on our page and Discord for announcements. I hope that the first tournament is going to be held the weekend of May 7th to coincide with the GKM Gaming 1-year anniversary stream. We will be opening 100 premium bags on the stream, and maybe we might even be playing in the first ever tournament, doing some stuff in the collectible event, whipping out new teams. I'm super duper excited for that stream, and hopefully tournaments coincide with that. Hint, hint, Gameloft, make it happen. As we said in our previous Bricknotes, make sure your team of heroes is as buff as possible so you can smash your enemies in a fair fight and get all the rewards. Yeah, you're going to want a diverse roster for tournaments, especially if they make it tag specific down the line, which I do think is the plan. Everybody in the content creator chat was pretty on board about doing something like that. There's two reasons why tournament registration starts later and not the same second Update 9 rolls out on all platforms. And both are simple enough. They need extra time to polish and test things, which, hey, all for it. Let's make sure we get a good product out there. And the second reason is in Orthodox Easter holidays, most of their development team and live operations team members, they're going to be on vacation. So I have to actually check when that is. Hopefully it's not the weekend of the stream, because I would like our 1-year anniversary stream to also be the premiere of tournaments. I think that would be a really cool thing to do a stream. That's all for now. Power up your team, prepare for Update 9, and happy upcoming Orthodox Easter for those who celebrate it. Thank you for your attention, and brick out. So I think the cool news is, all right, we know when tournaments are going to start in the first half of May. Hopefully we get it that second weekend of the 7th. And we now know who's being updated. Now, they said they're going to get us more kits next week. Apparently they had a lot of work to do this week. They weren't able to get us kits. I'm fine with that. Jester Go hates it. He's complaining. He's waiting on bated breath. And honestly, I love seeing him, wait there impatiently and flounder. It's the best part of the game. Shocked Yuppie, Highwayman, and Yeti are getting reworks instead of Zombie and Clockwork. Like, Zombie's pretty bad. Granted, Spooky doesn't really need Zombie, but he's not necessarily... Well, I guess he's kind of easy to farm, but... I don't know. I feel like he's just not that great. And they could have made him a little better, but... it is what it is. I wasn't expecting Spooky Earl to get a buff. Maybe it's just because Spooky is already so strong. They're like, we don't want to rework a Spooky figure. And I think that I think they decided, hey, let's rework Yeti a little bit. Not necessarily to synergize with the collectibles better, but let's make him work better with this Chill team. So my prediction is Chill team is going to get a bit of a buff too in this. Because as Yeti buffs, we know Chill goes with Yeti. So I'm pretty excited about that. Well, that's pretty much all I got for you today, Knuckleheads. Please remember to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding that little bell for some notifications, and as always, remember to knuckle up.